Oh, hello there, everybody. How's it going, Matt?
Yeah, it's a great day, great night, great moment to be a race fan.
You got that right, no doubt about that. And what a week ahead of us. We were just talking about it. We got three coming down the pipe here. Three races, three big ones at that, like you said. The least of the ones, I'd say the Coca-Cola 600, a solid race at that though. Then we got Monaco, but then there's something that's near and dear to my heart, at least my heart especially. And this is my biggest question tonight. And this is what I've been saving it. I didn't want to talk about it before. I'm from Indianapolis. I grew up with this in my backyard. What's an outsider's view of the Indy 500?
Well, if you're a football fan, this is IndyCar's Super Bowl. If you're a baseball fan, it's the World Series. If you're a hockey fan, this is the Stanley Cup Finals. This is the biggest, and I mean biggest event for IndyCar. It's a month long preparation. It's literally the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl of IndyCar racing.
So, do you guys get as jacked as we do here? Because I'm telling you, here in India, it's a special time of the year, the month of May. It just means so much to race fans, and not even just race fans, but everybody here in India. It's a whole new kind of, everybody's a little more chipper. They know something's around the corner, and it's a Indy 500. So I don't know. Obviously, you guys aren't decorating. People decorate here. They got their yards all Indy 500 out. It looks like Christmas time with the lights and everything. It's cool to see the town of Speedway. But like, what's the, like? Do you guys talk like, hey man, did you see practice 2 weeks
No,
ago? Because okay, that's what
no,
see. We're all
no.
watching practice here. We're all jacked up. We got pumped to see Scott Dixon hit those times. So
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
the only thing I can compare though is for us is like when the World of Outlaws are in town, like our beer distributors and stuff put sign up says welcome race fans, including outlaw fans. So we do get that kind of excitement. If that counts.
I'm with you. I'm with you. But so nothing. Like I said, I've always been curious, kind of, because I grew up here. I've lived this my entire life. So it's interesting to see kind of the opposite end there, if you will,
Yeah.
of what people really think about the 500. But I'm
I mean,
excited to talk about it.
I like it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I mean, everybody likes the race. I think it's always put out, not always, but for most years, it puts out a really good, a solid product, if you will. And that's I think this year it's looking fantastic. We saw that first practice here on Tuesday, Monday, where everybody was trimmed out to race, and they were bunched up, they were passing. We got some guys in the field that everybody's excited to see. The big one, JJ, well, Jimmy Johnson in his first 500. What do you think about Jimmy running here and what he's done so far?
I've been impressed to be honest. But you and I've talked in the past that we felt like he was going to be good at Indy because his Texas run and how good we figured he'd be good on the ovals. I thought for sure he was going to compete for one of the fast six spots because the way he looked in practice, what was it? The last practice before the Indy 500 qualifying itself, he was top of the charts when it came to that 4 lap average.
Yep.
So I thought he was going to be in the final six, but he can't complain. Top 12 in his debut. That's pretty good. So
Yeah, I absolutely agree there. And he even said it was inexperience at the end of the day. What kind of caught him off guard? I mean, you see, it's such a big race, and like I said, with that comes a lot of nerves, a lot of things that Jimmy hasn't seen. Yes, he knows the line here at Indy. That's no doubt about that. He knows how to run here at Indianapolis because he's one of the, if not the most winningest drivers here in Indy in NASCAR. But you're going 40 miles an hour faster. And I know you're thinking to yourself right now, everybody, people out there, man, 40 miles per hour, that's not that much faster. But when you're clocking 180 down the straightaway in a NASCAR, and you add 40 to 50 miles an hour on that, because there were some guys that were hitting I think it was like 243 at that
yeah,
speed trap. So you had that. It's like, oh, okay, this is a little bit different. Jimmy smacked the wall. Did you see that at all?
Yeah, yeah, and
Hit
he
it,
kept going.
hit it just like he needed to hit it. If you
Yeah.
could hit it, you wouldn't want to hit it any other way. But or if you had to, you wouldn't want to hit it any other way there. But he kisses it, but he comes out and you can see he is visibly shaken. He's his hands are shaking. You can hear it in his voice. He says, "I don't ever want to do that again." And it's just something we never saw with Jimmy in NASCAR as far as like I don't ever want to do that again. That was terrifying. I don't need that in my life. Like that's why he held off.
So I don't know if you caught much. I mean, I figured you were probably at the track or you were busy doing whatever. But Steve Letarte was talking a little bit about Jimmy Johnson when he was in the broadcast booth last year, and he said about he told Jimmy, he's like, "Hey, you're gonna run in this race," and Jimmy's like, "No, no, no, this is not my thing. Like this
Right.
sitting here is watching. It's kind of scary." And here he is a year later, and he's actually running this thing. So it goes. It's like he was very leery of wanting to even run this race because it's a different animal. And you said about him having laps at Indianapolis, but I agree with you in that aspect that he knows his way around. But when it comes to the Indy 500, and I'll compare it to the Brickyard, there's a lot more finesse in making sure you're set up for the end of the Indy 500 than there was at the Brickyard. Because if you look at all the years for the Brickyard, it was basically one or two cars at the end of the race that were in contention to win. And when Indy rolls around, everybody, as long as you're still in the lead lap, you have a chance to win at Indy. So
To
a lot
first
more
fin-
finesse.
sorry to finish first. You first must finish. So that's a big saying there, especially I think that holds true here at Indy. We look at another rookie, kind of everybody's got their eyes on here. I know you, myself. I just did the opposite hands there, but see you get it there.
Yeah.
You, myself, we got our eyes on Grosjean. So he comes out there. He pops his head into the top 12. He's like, "Hey guys, just Jimmy ain't the only guy out here ready to race. Jimmy ain't the only one." So what do you think about Grosjean? He's an Andretti. They're not as fast as they'd like to be right now. Herd has got some issues with the engine itself. We're not seeing any other issues with Hondas as far as reliability that I am aware of. But the thing you can say on the opposite end of that with Andretti being as high up as they are in the echelon there, the chain, the ladder, that Ganassi with Honda equipment is firing off on all cylinders when it looks like Andretti's misfiring on all but one.
Did Grosjean really surprise you though?
Yes.
I mean, what's okay? So to me, he didn't. The only thing that surprised me with that though is the fact that you look throughout the top 12, like he was ninth. So him getting in the top 12 didn't surprise me. But the fact that like he's in there and we don't see Castro Neves, we don't see Rossi, we don't see an Andretti, we don't see Colton Herta. I thought that was going to be the biggest problem for him, was trying to beat or be
his team
in pair. Well, yeah, in par with them. And I thought he had a better chance of being in the top 12 and Jimmy in the top 6, but I did not see like Rinus VK coming out and running a lightning fast lap right off the bat in Carpenter's car.
Carpenter's always hot though here at Indy. They know how to set the car up here at Indy. They know how to do it.
But VK has not always been that stellar of an oval driver.
Last year at Indy, he started on the front row.
That was last year, but look at all the other any other time he's running oval loads, he's been like hit or miss.
Yeah, but this is a completely different track. Like you go to Texas, you go to Gateway. Those are your other two ovals, and it's nothing like this. I think guys like VK, you can hang it out here, where you're not necessarily hanging it out at. I mean, you are, but you're not going 240 miles an hour at Gateway. You're not going 240 at Texas. This is a whole new beast.
I mean, I thought Grosjean would do really well also in qualifying. I mean, and then after you see what the draw was and Will Power went out late, I did not think Will Power was going to crack the top 12 at all. I thought he was done for with the way the track was. So when I saw where Grosjean was going to go out in qualifying, I kind of was confident, like, yeah, he should make it to the top 12. But if he didn't get there, like 13, 14, somewhere around there, because he was quick in all the practices too.
That's what I was going to do. But did you see those practices? Because he was hanging it out there, and he was floating up that track, and it looked like he wanted to flirt with that wall.
I think the entire time, like those guys were experimenting. If you really want me to be honest with you.
Ooh, I don't. Those weather conditions were so tough. It was 30-mile-per-hour winds at their back. They were trying to set that car up, and that's what I think it did come down to. Is you had to throw loads of downforce into that bad boy. You had to really load it up and make Grosjean feel comfortable. Where the other guys, they kind of said, maybe, Ross, you put me in a little looser car so I can go faster. But those track conditions, as far as the weather, the wind, everything like that, maybe didn't set for that car right. So that's where I think, because you look up there as well, Ericsson running very good. Again, Ganassi, but all those Ganassi cars running solid in the top 12. So very impressive there for Ganassi. I think there's some other rookies, Malukas, Callum Islet. I think we could see J.R. Hildebrand have a decent day. Sato looking quick here throughout. I mentioned Sato.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to quiz you here or anything like that, but if you had to pick a favorite champion from the past here in the race, do you have a favorite to finish as highest up here? And I'm trying to think without looking, going through. You've got Takuma Sato, Tony Kanaan, Scott Dixon, Elio,
Will Power,
Simon Pagino, Rossi. I think that's it.
Juan Pablo.
Oh, you are right. Yep, Montoya.
I mean, the obvious is Scott Dixon.
Dixon's always he's always qualified here well, but it seems like when they go to put that race together, it kind of never really runs in their favor. He ends up getting whether it caught up in something that he wasn't meant to be in, or that fuel calculation just being a little bit off. So well, I don't know. Go ahead. You look like you got something else on the
No, I was gonna say, but when I say the obvious is Scott Dixon, like I would never go with the most obvious selection most of the time.
Well, you with him,
I would say Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan, though.
Okay, he's in that one ride for Ganassi. This could what a way to put that nail on the coffin for your IndyCar career. Really pull out there in that and bang it out. I think that would be a really cool thing to see at the end of the day there. I think people are going to think I'm crazy here. The car looks like they got it on tack. It's hard not saying Sato. It's hard not saying Sato. The dude's hanging it out there just like Johnson. He got the wall just the way he needed to. If you're going to get it, that's the way to do it, no doubt about it. And he's been top time without a toe, with a toe, race trim. He had some fast times in the qualifying trim. I think it's looking pretty good for Sato. There might be a new I'm not going to say this is my pick, but with Sato, I'm thinking this year there could be a third time or a new three-time winner.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but the one thing I will say, and I know you probably have noticed it over the years, Sato, it's either, I'm going to use the name of our show, Checkers or Wreckers at Indy.
100%. You could say that when he went up against Dario. So here's a little interesting thing. I was watching a deal about Dario when he won. And do you remember that one? That happened all right in front of me. This is one of my most vivid memories of the 500. Sato dive bombs. Oh my God, Franchitti. And Franchitti, man, he doesn't give him any room. Which, hey, it's last lap here. I'm not giving you any room either. We're going to the last laps, few last laps, whatever it was. But gets down on him and just barely gets him. And that was enough to put him down low enough, and he spun out. So in Sato, I guess Dario's celebrating afterwards and having a good time, having a few cocktails or whatever it be. And I guess Sato comes in at this point, and he's like, you didn't leave me any space. And he was giving him loads of stuff. And he's like, hey, did you really think I was going to leave you space at that time in the race? He's like, no, man, like there's no space to be given then. So eventually he said, I'm just gonna kick you out. You got to go because you're messing with my buzz. So I thought that was a good little 500
Yeah.
victory story there.
Okay, so if you, based on what you've seen so far, agree or disagree, Malukas is going to be a sleeper come the end of the race.
100% agree there.
Dude,
I
I mean, I was sitting
100%
there
agree.
watching him in practice and then watching him at qualifying and just how smooth he has been with that car. And I'm like, damn, that kid's gonna have probably one of the best shots as a young
He's also one
driver.
of those guys that doesn't know what that wall feels like, and
No.
I think right now he's driving like he doesn't care what it feels like, and sometimes that's what I feel like you really have to do here at Indy. Is kind of like Simon Pagino said this year before he went out for a run. He said, I just got to turn my brain off. I just had to turn my brain off. And to think that, I mean, that's crazy. You're going for a 4-lap run around IMS, and you're about to go some of the fastest that people have ever gone in a car before. And they say it's equivalent of turning into your driveway at 90 or at 70 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, something like that. It's like, good luck. Good luck there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's very interesting to say. You just have to shut your mind off there.
And especially since he's competing for the Indy 500 rookie of the year essentially in that, and like you said, he hasn't hit the wall, but it's just watching him for how consistent he has been through all the practices, and then he puts it together for a solid qualifying lap. He would end up in, I think it was 13th or whatever. Like we can sit here and say about Jimmy and Grosjean and how good they are, but like I would not count Malukas out as possibly finishing ahead of both of them before the race is over.
And you have a good point there. Yeah, very, very well could happen there. Not going to rule that one out whatsoever. We got a future 500 driver, possible champion here, Austin Taylor. He's a young go-karter around here. So what's going on, Austin? I want to know who you got, who you picking for your title hopes here tonight.
And actually, if anybody wants to comment what they have, we'll throw it in there.
Give me 1 second here.
Oh, here we go.
I had a little visitor there.
You get a 2-legged visitor, and mine's 4-legged. And
Yeah,
doesn't
that was yep. But so going forward here, I'm trying to think now. She threw me off there. What do you think, Pato? What do you think about the McLaren guys? Because they threw down. Let's. I don't know if Montoya. I think if he would have to have like a strategy deal, something like that. But on the other end, I think you look at Pato, you look at Felix. Those two are looking pretty solid here, and I think McLaren possibly showing some of the best signs that they've had for the entire time here since being around the past few years.
Yeah, so I think Montoya is going to be, if they get the pit strategy figured out, I think he'll be up there. But I think what's going to hold them back, and you might smack me or yell at me or whatever, I think Rosenquist is going to hold them back from being able to compete for the win at the end. I think Pato's quick. I think Pato, again, there's 33 guys in this field, and all of them are capable of winning this race. I think Pato is definitely very capable of winning and being like in contention up front the entire time. But I don't think it's going to be because Rosenquist is going to be there with him, helping him. I think Rosenquist is going to hold him back a little bit, to be honest with you. I think Montoya is going to be there. I mean, it's so hard. It's so hard to count Montoya out. Like that man
right. He knows the track.
And his reputation. I know everybody is not a fan of his, but he's so quick. His qualifying lap didn't show it. He's quick. He's consistent. He knows how to drive these cars. He knows how to drive Indy. Like it's going to be so hard to say Montoya is going to be running 30th the entire race. Like I think he's going to get up there into the top 10. But I don't think Rosenquist will stay up there.
That's where Rosenquist his oval inexperience may come in. But you look at what he's done here on the ovals, and again, I know I said that this isn't just any oval. Excuse me. This is completely different, but I think he's shown a lot of progression here. I think he's probably been on the simulator a lot. Excuse me, they're really getting ready for this year's 500. And he's shown that. I think he's really putting down the lap. So it'll be interesting to see. I think he's done. He's done being a second fiddle there, because obviously the IndyCar doesn't play so much the driver 1, driver 2, 3, 4, whatever it be. It's more just go out there and whoever's going to take this one, we just want it for the team, and let's just get it. If you guys got to race each other at the end, go at it. But that's what I think Rosenquist is done kind of being that second fiddle, if you will. And there's rumors. This is rumors, obviously, of Alexander Rossi joining that team next year as a third driver. And Rosenquist does not want to fall down the list as a third, because obviously you got that new baby in the house. You're going to take care of him. You're going to watch over him, make sure that he's all good, he's comfortable. So you don't want a driver like Rosenquist in this McLaren setup really falling back and feeling left out. So I think he's going to have a solid 500. I think he's got the support behind him. Pato, I think, obviously is showing to be a little better on the oval. But if Rosenquist can be smart, and again, it's all about being there at the end. It's all about being there at the end.
So in his career so far at Indianapolis, he's been on the oval side, 3 races, 575 laps. His average start is 19th, and his average finish is 22.
He got taken out, though. Like he was in a crash with Ray Hall that collected him. He had nothing to do with it. So that was a tough one. But
I don't hate him though. I don't hate him. I like Rosenquist. I think if we're talking about road course racer, I think he's the best road course racer, or one of the best road course racers on the circuit. But I don't see it for Indy. I want him to prove me wrong. I love being proven wrong on everything, but it's just like, again, you have to, the first finish, you must finish first or whatever, or the finish first, you must first finish or whatever.
Right? Now he's like Tommy Boy, the real Tommy Boy.
Yeah. The problem that I see with him is just like, I think he'll do fine in the race. He is the second fiddle. I think Pato's going to be the focus. They're going to want Pato to be up there because, I mean, Pato wins the 500. That place is going to go nuts to begin with. Everybody loves Pato. I don't know anybody who actually hates Pato.
Pato get a top 5?
I think Pato will get a top 5.
Like I don't want to ruin any checkers and records picks, but I do think both Pato and Rosenquist have capabilities of popping into the top 5. And to answer Kyle's question, yes, Montoya was well off pace, but it's been shown this before. He's been off pace before. He finds the right adjustments, and that's another thing with Montoya. You got a guy that really knows how to mess with the car, to really get that car dialed into how he likes it. And the only bad thing is when you're starting that far back, you got a lot of traffic. You got a lot of traffic. You got to hope some things work your way, and you can kind of cheat your way through the field, if you will. And by cheat your way, whether it be pit stops, whether it be making that one less stop, something like that, you're going to have to kind of hope really works in your favor, I think, if your Montoya starting that far back.
Well, you know what? The thing is, if you really look at it, though, compared to what Scott Dixon did was unbelievable. We all can agree on that. What he ran for that 4-lap average was just freakish. So you take out if you take out his lap and you just go from Palou even all the way down to Montoya, it's not that huge of a difference in speed wise.
No, and that's what I think is the biggest draw to this is you got guys, 33 drivers that are very close in qualifying times. If you had 33 F1 drivers, it would be 4 seconds off. That's what Grosjean even said. He's like, this is crazy. He's like, in F1, we don't even get like the top 2 cars this close or top 3 cars as the entire field is. It's like, this is nuts right here. So, I mean, for those guys like Ericsson and Grosjean, I know Ericsson, this isn't his first rodeo, but Grosjean, those guys that come from F1 and the guys that have done it in the past, to see this, it's got to be pretty humbling, I would think.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about like some heavy hitters and stuff, but let me bring one up to you because they were talking about it on the broadcast, and I want your opinion because you're a big IndyCar guy. You and I talk IndyCar bunch. J.R. Hildebrand. Is this the year that J.R. Hildebrand finally shows that he's actually good at Indy?
I mean, he's almost won the race. He
I
was
know the year that Dan
close.
Weldon won. Yeah,
He got that close to it, and he tried to go around lap traffic. That was inexperience. He's got the experience now, but I don't think he's got the car. He could go out there. I think they both showed, because correct me if I'm wrong, that's Brian Reinbold with Sage, right?
yeah.
So they've shown some good speed, but with that car, you're gonna really have to again pull that strategy out. I think Sage last year finished in the top 10, so a solid run for Karam in that Brian Reinbold. I think he's had some solid luck, but to get a win here, man, I think you got to have a little more behind you. You got to have a little more. That's why Sato is a deep pick there, being with Coin. It's just, man, that would be so cool to see that small team once again win the 500. But, whew, man, that's tough, because guys build cars around this one race, and those small teams, they just don't have that. I know IndyCar is not the budget that we have of F1, but when it comes to this race, they're tossing everything at it.
So my thing is here with Hildebrand is, look at the year that he almost won the 500 that Weldon won, and the Panther racing car. The Panther racing car was that. It was that I won't say it was a bottom team, but you knew when it came to Indy, like, they were going to be there no matter what. It didn't matter like who was behind the wheel of that car. If Hildebrand could do that in that car, I'm not saying he's going to compete for a win, but
Panther was on it that year, though. Panther was on it that year, and the year before, I think it was that team they were firing on all cylinders. That was I think maybe the same budget if you want to compare budgets. But when the guys behind the scenes, I don't know any of the actual gentlemen or anything, the ladies, but it was that team was they were on it, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dan Weldon was racing for Panther Racing the year before.
He did.
So,
he got second. They had back-to-back second-place finishes with Dan Weldon and
J.R. Hildebrand. So, I mean, that puts a lot of money in a pocketbook when you're able to come out here at the biggest race and finish up there with a low-budget team finishing like that. That's good for the pocketbook.
And I think that's what's going to play. It's going to help out Hildebrand in that car. I think his experience is enough for him to be there, because like the year that he finished second in the Panther racing car, he started 12th.
Oh, so he has learned a lot through the years. No doubt about that. He has learned a lot through the years. Every time we come around to the last lap now, I just think to myself, is somebody going to J.R. Hildebrand this? Is somebody going to Hildebrand this?
Yeah.
Because I have so many fond memories of sitting in I thought he had it. I was a Weldon fan at that point. Buddy Lazier was out there. He was done. I had loved Weldon since the day he came on, and watching him, it's like, man, he's gonna get second. What a run! And then coming out of that, he's like, what's JR? No, he's not gonna go to passes. He did. Oh, he just hit the wall. It's just like so many. Just the crowd goes crazy. It's like somebody just hit a full court shot at the NBA Finals to finish Game 7.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I still think. Again, I don't think he's going to compete for a win, but I think he can make that car so much better. Like, I think we'll hear his name a lot on Sunday, like running near the front, like top 10, maybe sneak into the top 5 during pit stops or whatever, and then fade a little bit. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good of a driver he really is.
No, he's one of those guys that honestly I don't know why he ever left the circuit. I felt like he was solid enough to stay and compete with these guys, especially compared to some of the guys that are on right now. I'm not smat talking. I'm not saying anything bad here, but like J.R. Hildebrand, Dalton Kellett. You look at those guys, and yeah. I know Dalton Kellett. He's a little younger. You hope to progress that, but. You wonder, like, why did J.R. Hildebrand? Obviously, it had to do with funding, but yeah,
absolutely.
It's just unfortunate that you see a driver like that kind of fall off. But that's the good thing again about the glory of the 500 is you get to see some of these guys come back and give it a go.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed though, because I miss having more than 33 cars attempting, because I miss actual bump day, because bump day was always exciting to watch.
It was, and that's why they're trying to do like the Fast 6 and the Fast 12 to kind of add excitement back into qualifying. But here next year, There's already rumblings of, like I said, the third ride at McLaren. Does that open up a fourth car for the 500 for them, or is that just gonna keep them at 3? There's a couple other people I know. RC Anderson and Top Gun Racing. They didn't go give it a go this year. Maybe they go back at it next year. Give it a try after taking a year off, trying to get things situated. You got the same engine, you got the same chassis coming back next year, so you could really put that to work. Peretta Autosports, the all-female team that teamed with Penske last year, I believe they have teamed. Oh man, I want to say with Ed Carpenter now. It was not with Penske. I believe it was with Carpenter. Don't quote me on that, but we'll be seeing them come back into the play. So maybe, I just maybe Juncos with Elliott, Callum Elliott does a good job, and they put in a second ride. Then maybe it's with these unknowns before the race. Like, you have a good race that could help you build that car for next year or add that extra car. So that's where there's a lot on the line as you start this race here this year.
Can we bring back like Simona Di Silvestro too? Just for her interviews.
Something tells, like, isn't she racing again? Like she did last year with Peretta, correct?
I think so.
I believe so, yeah. So that was a wicked incident. Do you remember that with her?
Yeah.
The getting her hands burned up in the accident there. So, do you have a favorite 500 of the past? Is there one that maybe sticks out in mind more to you than any other? You were waiting for that question.
because I was a big Dan Weldon fan. So, like, the year that he won, and
which one?
The second one, the one with Hildebrand wrecked. Like, I didn't think Weldon was going to win that. I thought JR had that race in the bag. I remember sitting there watching it, and he's just, Weldon's just minding his own business, and then that wreck happened. I was like, oh my God, there's a big enough gap. Like, Weldon still might not win this race. Like, Hildebrand might limp around and finish this thing still in first. And then when he won, just the seeing the excitement that he had when he won that race was just like unbelievable. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Like, that's probably my favorite, just because of being a Dan Weldon fan.
You see, yeah, that was I started going in 1995, and it was the same deal with the Brickyard. Dad said, pick a car. Which one do you like? I picked Buddy Lazier. Buddy Lazier didn't win 95. He did win in 96 then. So to come out there and bingo, bango, bongo, I got a driver that just won the 500. That was awesome, and I can remember, like, on those caution laps, he's going around because he has a broken vertebrae, and he's from an accident in practice that season, and he's over there. I know you can't see me, but he's got his hands in the air because they're going numb during caution laps. He couldn't stand up after in the victory lane. It's something you don't realize when you're a kid at 7 years old, but to look back at that now, I remember just being so excited that my driver won. That was awesome to see that. I remember the drama of Elio Castroneves and Paul Tracy, where the wreck happened behind him, and Elio said he saw the yellow flag, so he lifted. Paul Tracy says, bull crap, no, you didn't. There was no yellow flag. I got by you because you were saving fuel. Why don't you just call it like it is? And Paul Tracy, to this day, still says, I was that winner. I think that was 2001. It was either 2001 or 2002. But he says, that one's mine. This one was mine, and I'm calling myself the 500 champion. I'm trying to think. I obviously, to see Rossi at the 100th, that was cool. Just being able, he went by me in turn one, and I thought to myself, that car sounded really quiet. That car just sounded like it was off. Like, you could definitely tell that last lap he was coasting.
Which one? 2000. So the other one I remember is 2006 with Hornish and Andretti.
That was a very close. That might be the closest finish in any car or Indianapolis 500 history.
Because I had to sit here and think about it for a second. I was like, who did Andretti lose to? And I was like, oh, that was 2006. It was like right at the line. That was such a heartbreaking moment for him, because that wasn't the race. Like, he dominated.
Mark says he likes all the Andretti heartbreaks. Those are his favorites. There's a lot of those. A lot of, and Andretti slowing down. Yeah, those are always. I was never like a Michael or Marco fan. My brother was, so we always kind of relished in those.
Well, I know Mark, so that doesn't surprise me any.
I like that. I like that. That's good.
Uh, but I mean, dude, like, so just looking through, we were talking about the close finishes here. So, the closest was Al Unser Jr. over Scott Goodyear 92.
92. Okay. Okay.
And then
So
it
that one's
was
got to be like second or third then.
Ryan Hunter Ray beating Elio in 2014.
Okay.
Then it was the Hornish and Andretti.
Okay.
Juan Pablo over Will Power.
That was the second one in 20.
15.
Okay.
2015. Then Gordon John Cock over Rick Mears.
Okay. See, that's what my dad. That's what I love when I go out there. Bryce, he said he's gonna be in the north. We're gonna be on opposite ends of the track there. We'll try to hook up though, if possible. I got my little girl, so I don't know how much walking she's gonna be able to handle. She's going to her first one. I was 7 when I went to my first one. She'd taken her at her first one at the age of 7. I can't wait. I'm so excited. She's already
Never been to one.
She's already looked at the spotter's guide. She's already picked out which ones that she's rooting on. Ed Carpenter. She's rooting on Dalton Kellett, and she's rooting on Connor Daly. Those are her 3 drivers. Just picked it off the cars. My son, on the other hand, is rooting on Elio Castroneves. He likes that black and pink design. So gotta throw it up there for the old 5-time. He's over for 5-time here. If he gets it, I'll go home. You know what's funny is my little boy's name's Charles. And we watch F1 in this house. So in exciting moments of F1, you know, with Ferrari, they'll start screaming, Charles Leclerc, Charles Leclerc. So sometimes in exciting moments here, my daughter will start screaming that to him, Charles Leclerc, Charles Leclerc. So, you know, if he gets 5 here, she'll be screaming for him at the track, Charles Leclerc, Charles Leclerc. Everybody be looking at her like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's cheering on her brother that just picked the winner. That's what she was doing. That's what she was doing.
Never been to the 500, but I've been to the Coke 600.
And I'll never go to the Coke 600 because I don't own a private jet. That's just one thing I like. I'd love to go to Monaco if I was rich, but I would never go because I'd be at the Indy 500. It's like, you'll never pull me out. I'd have to go to Monaco like the one year. It's like the week before.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should start a GoFundMe to send Tommy Boy and the Source to Monaco.
That might be an expensive GoFundMe there. Might be an expensive one. That's a lot of money in that city. A lot of money.
Support our show. Support your boy. Send him to Monaco one way or another.
Let's get the private jet for the Coke. Let's pull the doubleheader as a fan. That would be a video.
Let's do the triple.
Video.
Let's do the triple.
I don't think that's possible. I don't think you could do it.
We'd miss the start of the Indy 500, but I mean, you figure like soon as the checker flag waves for Monaco, we just hit the air, and then get maybe halfway through the Indy 500, and we'd make it in time for the 600.
Yeah, exactly. I hear. We'll hook up with Tony Stewart and let him know what we're doing as he's watching the 500 and flies over there for the fly. It is. That's what. It was so cool because you usually sit around the same group of people like every year since I was younger. There's some groups that are like, man, I can remember you when you were little, and now I'm drinking with you. We're slamming beers. We're having a good time up here. It's like it's like, hey man, how was your year? You hope that everybody in the group comes together, or you got to ask that awkward question. You know, everybody's still around, everybody's still healthy. But every now and then you'll get a guy that maybe couldn't come, so he sold his ticket. And one year there was a guy. He was from Europe, and he had seen the Monaco GP. He'd seen Silverstone. He'd seen the 24-hour Le Mans, the 24-hour Daytona, and this was his first 500.
Wow.
And to watch his face the entire time, my dad and I were both looking down there, and he was just so fixated on every aspect of this. But the best is, and I'll be doing the same thing, is as much as I love this race, as much as I love everything about it, when they come 3 wide down in that first turn, I probably won't be watching the cars. I will be watching my daughter's face for the first time, and she gets to see 3 wide at Indy, because there's nothing better, I think, than to see somebody's eyes, see somebody's face for the first time where we sit in turn one, than to see them come 3 wide going that fast. It's like, man, that was cool. That, because it's not gonna last long. It's not gonna last. They're gonna spread that stuff out quick, but that is one of the coolest things in motorsports that I've seen. You could sit in turn one for any road course event, and I don't think it's as cool as seeing them come 3 wide in the Indy 500. That's just something beyond belief there to watch.
So 2 things. So first, I've only been to one IndyCar race. I was at Pocono the year that Marco started on the pole, dominated, and lost. Hinchcliffe.
Another Andre heartbreak there.
I picked Hinchcliffe to win that race, and he went into turn one, lap one, and wrecked. So that didn't go well for me.
Very
But
nice.
Plan ahead, I mean, we 365 days from now, Source could be in Indianapolis. There could be Checkers and Wreckers show live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
There you go. That could be a fun little time there. Man, I'm so excited for Sunday. I think it's time now. I think it's time we talk the big talk here. People want to know who our picks are, who we're picking. We're not going to start with a checker here. We're going to go in reverse here. We're gonna throw it in reverse for thirst. And we're gonna ask, who's your dark horse here, Matt? Who's your dark horse of the 500?
So my dark horse, and it's not so much of a dark horse, but it is because of his starting position. I am going to say that Colton Herta is going to overcome all of his bad luck and is going to be my dark horse pick for the Indy 500.
It'd be a hard one to come across. It would be, in, like you said, the woes that he's had. We look at dark horses. Some people might knock me for picking this as a dark horse. He's a rookie. He was in the top 12. It's hard not to say Johnson. He's got so much experience here. I know it's not in this car. I think he's gonna do good here. I'm not gonna say I'm the only person saying it. I think Johnson gets at least a top 10. He's got a chance to win this. He's got a chance to win it if he's there, if that strategy's right. But I think he's definitely set up for a top 10 here this weekend.
I mean, I like Bryce.
I gotta agree with that.
Malukas
is a solid pick, but I think Johnson you can't write a story better than this. You can't write it better than if Johnson was to come out and nail it. I mean, that would be a storybook ending here. Good night, Austin. Thanks for tuning in. He's getting in trouble by Mom.
I mean, so I'll go one step further, and I will say, so obviously my dark horse pick is Colton Herta, but I think the highest finishing rookie is going to be David Malukas. I know yours would be Johnson because he's your dark horse
Correct,
pick,
yeah.
But of the rookies of the races, Malukas is going to be the highest finishing rookie.
Fair. I think that could be a solid pick there. No joke. So what about we got Wreckers now? We're gonna go Wrecker here. Who do you think is not gonna perform to the way that they should here this coming weekend?
I brought his name up earlier, and it's nothing against him. I think it's gonna be Rosenquist still.
Fair enough.
Something tells me like he's gonna hold them back a little bit. So I think it's Rosenquist.
I disagree with you on your dark horse, and I think the woes continue. I think it's everything's adding up this year for him. He's kind of got that Verstappen kind of mentality. If the car's on, man, he's going to be on fire. But that car's not looking like it's on right now. And they've just got – that's such a hard thing to overcome. I think he's going to overdrive the car, and he could end up finding the wall fairly early. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I would like to see Herta do something good here. But man, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point to that, and I'll say, I mean, nobody's perfect like you. We disagree. So honestly, we disagree a lot, but like we're both on the same page. I agree with you. Colton Herta is like Max Verstappen. If it's on, it's on. If it's not, like he's going to struggle. But I mean,
And
that's what
they've
makes
got
it
time to
great.
fix it. That at least you didn't find this on carb day. So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you do have time to fix it, but it's just man after I feel like it could be an avalanche effect or snowball effect here, where it starts off small. You got a lot of time to fix it, but then they're gonna find another issue and another issue and another issue, and just waboom, before you know it, you're getting smacked by it.
My thing is how much pressure is really on him, so knowing that considering he is starting 25th. I mean, it's not like he
Oh,
out
I mean, this is
out.
double points. He wants a championship to
Oh,
get back in there.
I don't disagree in that aspect. But okay, so he has struggled up until this point. His qualifying run showed that he has struggled even in this month, just at Indy alone. So would it really be that much of a shock though if he does struggle and is the record pick? You know what I mean? Like
No,
I don't
I
disagree
mean
with you.
you could look at it either way because there's a lot of high hopes. There's a lot of high
Yeah.
expectations for him. So for him not to crack the top 10, I think is going to be a record for him.
I can see your point. Yeah, I mean I disagree with your assessment, but no, I see your point. Like I'm on the same page with you. I don't know. To me, I just think it's hard to say like if he doesn't perform, if is it really much of a shock considering how it's been going for him. So
Oh, and I'm with you there. I see what you're saying. I'm with you. But so we move on to the checker pick now. Who do you think is crowned the 500 champion come Sunday? Who's drinking the milk?
dude, I have been torn between basically three choices for this, and I mean they're all three solid choices, and it's just ironic that they're all quick, and I believe they're all teammates anyways. Scott Dixon, it's hard to say go against Scott Dixon starting on the pole, and it's hard to go against Alex Palou starting second. But my pick that I ended up deciding on was Tony Kanaan.
Oh, and I think that's a sleeper. He's still in that top 12. He's got a great car, but people aren't looking at Kanaan out of that Ganassi crew. And I think you got a good point there. Kanaan saying sleep on me. Go ahead. I want that. I'll go right through this field. I know how to do it. I've been here. I've done it.
Yep.
So
And the last time he won, it was the same thing too. Like everybody slept on him. Like, oh, you didn't think he was going to be a factor, and then boom, there he is at the end of the race, and then he wins the Indy 500. So like, I was so torn between those three, but I'm like, you know what? It's Tony Kanaan. He's a guy you can root for, and if he does win, it's probably going to be a very emotional win to begin with, just because of how hard it's been for him.
You put the nail on the coffin of career right there. It's like, all right, guys, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
What a career. So you mentioned the checker pick I got. It's not Dixon. Palou's on fire right now. He's looking fast. He looks like he's got everything there is to get in there and make this happen. I think Palou takes the title. He drinks the milk here, and man, just how do you not have him as a favorite here after Indy if he does that for a second title? It's this dude's on fire.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's like he's probably the favorite to win the championship again, just for how fast and how good he's been all year. But there's 30. We sit here, we can say it. There's 33 guys in this field, and as long as you're taking the green flag on Sunday,
You got a chance.
you have a chance.
Yep.
I mean, I can't even sit here and say like I'm going to count Elio out starting 27th. He's so sneaky. It's
I
Elio.
never thought Elio had a chance last year. I'm going to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I would have picked him for a top 10 maybe, but I thought Elio was past his prime. I thought Elio was in this to kind of have fun, have a good time. But, man, he shocked me last year, and he could do it again. Again, you got guys in here. They've been here. They've done that. You heard Jimmy Johnson talk about the inexperience that cost him on qualifying. It could be that experience of Tony Kanaan, the experience of heck, who were we just talking about there? I just drew a blank.
Kanaan.
Thank you. No, Kanaan.
Yeah,
who
well,
else?
Palou. Yeah.
Well, he's inexperienced here. Dixon. You look at those. That's where you could say Rossi as well, because Bryce talking about Kanaan on restarts. It's Rossi is really gutsy here at Indy, and it's shown to be pretty advantageous. It's worked out well for him. But that's what I'm just excited to see it all here come Sunday. I'm pumped. I can't express that enough. And like I said, just to watch her face, the 7-year-old's face, 3 wide when they hit that turn 1 is going to be absolutely incredible.
I mean, let's be honest. You and I could go on another hour and go through the entire starting lineup and give one reason why they are good enough to win the Indy 500. With the field that we have this year,
33, I could probably give you 29 of those. I could probably give you 29 that I think could definitely do it. Like I said, I just don't think Kellett has it in him. Montoya, I don't think. You're in it, but it's tough. Again, Marco, I don't think Marco really. It's tough to come in here, do these one race deals, and put yourself up against these guys who are in race shape. Because that is something to go 500 miles. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Listen, if Marco Andretti miraculously does win the Indy 500, please get as much video of it as possible.
I'll
that
cry.
place will burn.
You won't. I'll be leaving the stands as quick as I can if Andretti wins this, dude. I'll be out of there. It's like, guys, let's go. I got the keys. I'm driving. We're leaving. We're getting out of here because this place is about to erupt, and I don't want to be part of it. I like a good party, but I don't want to be part of that one.
Oh, that place is gonna go nuts if for whatever reason he would ever win, whether it's this year or
His
in the
dad's
future or
calling
race
strategy for him this weekend.
Oh man,
that's the one. I guess that's your one good thing you got for him, because I believe Michael has called strategy for a couple of his winners. So maybe you do have a chance, Marco. Maybe you do have a chance.
Or it's going to be his curse because it's the Andretti curse at Indy.
Oh, I mean, that's what you're already expecting. You already expect it, and Marco's slowing down. But yeah, it'll be interesting. You got anything else to add?
Other than I'm not disappointed because I get to go to a concert, but I'm going to miss the Indy 500.
You're going to watch it in the car, remember? You're going to listen to it on
the
radio. When
I'm going to listen because I'm driving. I'm a responsible driver.
Right, fair enough. Now, me, I won't get to watch Monaco. I'll watch it when I get home. But by that time, people in the crowd will have already talked. I'll already know that. Well, I'll watch qualifying, so I'll see the race.
I'll just blow your phone up. I'll be like, hey, oh my God.
Like I said, as long as the leader doesn't wreck, I'll watch qualifying so I'll know who wins.
Kevin Magnussen just won. What?
Yeah, no joke. You say that real quick, but I do want to. I know Mick Schumacher, you're out there watching right now. Congrats on your first F1 points here this past weekend with a 10th place finish.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet to see.
Mick's a very constant watcher here on Checkers and Wreckers. Yeah.
How about another Red Bull 1-2 finish? I'm enjoying it. So
I don't want to talk about that one. You yanked that one from Perez.
You're welcome.
Mercedes last year, the Red Bull fans last year when Mercedes did that with Bottas. Bottas is a baby. He should never do that. You raced Hamilton. This is racing. And then this year, Red Bull, hey, Checo, we need you to pull over, let Max by. It's team orders, guys. It's team orders. Yeah. It's like, come on. It's like, well, where's the hypocrisy here? I don't know.
Oh, I get.
Just race.
Oh, okay. That's how I get treated. I guess I should include in there. Hey, if you are watching this and you're a baseball fan, going from the races to the bases, I'll be back to the races again. Just a bit outside Sunday. We're gonna have a fun little show. So if you're a baseball fan and want on, please let me know.
Sunday, you're driving to the thing. You got a baseball show. Then you're gonna watch a little bit of 500. Then you're going to that.
No, so this is
how my
this is how my day is going to go because it's going to be a long day. The source is a busy guy. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to watch Monaco. During the end of Monaco, I'm going to be doing just a bit outside. So I'm going to be a little distracted with that. And then as soon as the show's over in like a 2-hour window, I have to get myself ready to drive to a concert while trying to watch the Indy 500 and listening to it and then try and pay attention to the Coke 600. So we have content for Tuesday.
Well, I'll watch it all. And then I rewatch the 500 when I get home because it's blacked out here. And they always replay it. So I'm going to have the little girl. She's got to come watch it with me then too. It's like, come on. Let's fall asleep on the couch watching the 500. See what we missed in the stands.
Can you make a sign and just hold a sign up and see if you can get it on pre-race and just like that way I can be like, oh, there's Tommy Boy. There he is. There he is.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be entertaining.
Well, it was a good one here tonight, Matt. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, dude, this is again. I keep saying every week, it's a blast. Just keep this train rolling.
Absolutely. Sounds good to me. You guys, thank you so much. Tune in Sunday. I'm sure we'll go live at some point here for the 500 if we get service. I know sometimes it is tough out there with service, but Matt, thank you so much again. And everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Love the comments here today. And you